So I had two examiners that were very different. The external was a very senior figure in the field, and the internal examiner was somebody who was from a closely related field, who didn't really know very much about the work I'd done. So my PhD was on computer vision, and the internal was a guy from speech recognition. And throughout the Viva, his standard question was, and how does that relate to speech recognition? So I had two very different sets of questions, which was kind of nice because the external asked all the difficult ones, and the internal asked a lot of general things about what it meant to change the type of data that you work with and to change the nature of the problem a bit. And he kind of asked the questions around the main body of it. You know? And from my point of view, gave me a bit of a breather, I tell the truth. It went very quickly, as I remember it. Didn't seem to take very long at all, though it was coming up to 2 hours. And the only other thing that I remember is that the external began by saying, so, chapter 3, we don't really need to talk about chapter 3, do we? Which I mention just because a lot of people go into their Viva thinking that they can predict what's coming, and that if they take 40 minutes to talk about chapter 1, then they're going to take 40 minutes to talk about all the other chapters. And it's not like that. Yeah? It can vary dramatically as time went on. So we dismissed chapter 3 very quickly.
What was in chapter 3? I'm curious.
It was a piece of theoretical work that hadn't quite worked. Yeah? And it was fine, but it just wasn't. It didn't quite work, and we knew it didn't quite work. And so the examiner focused on the parts that had worked and the stuff that was interesting.